Hey, welcome back. My name is Audra, and one of the main concerns people ask me is about the safety of raw food diets for both cats and for dogs. Should we believe the ultra-processed Kibble companies, what they are telling us, that at the very best it will definitely make our animals sick, or at the very worst even make our human family members sick or actually kill our pets? I'm calling BS on this, and here's the reasons why and what you can do to mitigate any risks. Oh, and stick around. I have a free 101 Essential Raw Feeding Cheat Sheet guide you can download at the end of this video to make sure you are getting your formula spot on for each and every meal. Now, I'm sure you've probably heard of Salmonella. It's a very dangerous bacteria that can be present in many foods that have gone off. Eggs and rice being common culprits, so it's not just meats. Large commercial pet food manufacturers have spent a fortune telling us that raw meats and offals and raw diets are dangerous to both your dog and your human family. They're even going as far to say that studies have proven that raw-fed pet coats have tested positive for this nasty bacteria. To date, these studies have not been shared, made public, or even appeared in any veterinary journals that are circulated worldwide. The only studies, and my fingers are starting to hurt from all these super sarcastic air quotes, that have actually ever been published are what is called, in medical circles, opinion pieces. My aching fingers. An opinion piece is an article written and published by a professional who specialises in a particular field. In this case, a licensed veterinarian. To make these, in my opinion, articles the real deal, they need to go through what's called peer testing, clinical trials, and have a minimum time frame to prove that they're actually correct. Think of a clinical trial undertaking on a new wonder supplement that cures, hair loss. The supplement not only has to go through independent testing in an unbiased lab, but has to be blind trialled with a certain number of pets, then peer-reviewed or checked by those in the industry in the same field expertise. Where is the proof? Where are these clinical studies? There are none. It is a greatly elaborated myth to scare you into only buying their dry kibble. Sure, raw meats, when they are not handled correctly, carry the risk of salmonella. But think about this, all you fellow meat-eating humans watching this. How many times have you had salmonella poisoning? How many times have you made your family a meal and made them sick? Mitigating risk is really easy. Treat their food as if you were going to eat it. So, food handling 101. You already know this. You are doing it on a daily basis when preparing your own food for yourself and your family. Purchase your ingredients for your pets wherever possible from a human-grade butcher or a supermarket. There are more and more pet meat dedicated stores, opening up as people are embracing better pet health and rejecting ultra-processed extruded dry pellets for their fur children. Just do your research on these pet-grade meat supply stores. If you would not eat it, then they should not eat it. The pet butcher's shop should look and smell the same as your own butcher store. Clean, fresh and transparent. Food should be clearly packaged and all ingredients and ratios listed on any of the premixes. Check for batch dates and use-by dates. Again, if it's being handled correctly, that is, if it was made for humans, they will display it in the same way, in a transparent manner. Now, I'll say it again. Treat your dog's food like you would treat your own food. Make sure all surfaces, knives and storage containers are clean. If you don't like handling raw foods, wear disposable gloves. I have a set of plastic boards and containers that I only use for my dog's foods. I use antibacterial cleaners between batches and I scrub down between each mix when doing larger meal preps. Do not cut raw meats and offal on wooden boards. Use dedicated plastic chopping boards that can be scrubbed clean. Wooden or bamboo boards get micro-cuts every time you slice on them, creating the possibility of bacteria basically being housed and spreading all over them. Hey, while you're at it, please like and subscribe. It helps us create more content like this for you guys. Now, the easiest way to save time is meal prepping. And we've done an extensive video on this topic, actually several. The links are below. Check it out after this one. Basically, the best way is to make up large batches and freeze it in 2 or 3 day serving sizes. Ziploc bags are great as they store flat, as well as stackable plastic containers. Discard any leftovers in the defrosted container after 3 days. If it smells bad, chuck it out. Now, this is not bacteria related, but it's the next worst thing in my opinion. Parasites. Parasites in raw meats, bones and offal. It's a thing. It does exist. You can solve the issue fairly simply. Wild animals that are culled have a high, if not certain, risk of carrying parasites in their bodies. Mama deer does not worm her fawn on a monthly basis. But here in Australia, the most common wild hunted animals for pet foods are kangaroos. And trigger warning here, there will be a couple of pictures coming up of dead kangaroos. If this bothers you, I'll give you the heads up so you can look away. Okay? Pet grade kangaroo, the pet food industry has very few regulations or checks in place regarding the slaughter of roos. This basically means hunters are paid per head to cull the roos on private land, and they are partially butchered on the spot in the paddock. Then they are driven to processing sheds to be butchered down into manageable carcasses. Most of the times these are not refrigerated. Again, no regulations or checks are in place at this stage either. Many roos are shot and injured but manage to get away, only to die a really slow and agonising death later from their wounds. Again, trigger warning here, look away now, as I want to show you a couple of trophy photos taken and proudly posted on social media. They aren't nice. Okay, you can look now. If that offended anyone, I'm so sorry. I love animals and I hate to see needless pain. And if in this small way I can educate more people, hopefully this hideous industry will become regulated and accountable. This cruelty, as well as the added issues caused by unsanitary meat handling, opens up these meats to be problematic from a safety point of view. I personally would never ever feed my dog's pet grade roux that has been handled in this manner. Roux culled for human consumption is regulated and safe for all of us, humans, as well as their dogs. Wild roos do have parasites and worms present in both their organs and in their joints. You can see by these screenshots from the Meat Workers of Australia Facebook page. It's common knowledge in that industry, but conveniently omitted in the pet food industry. Never feed roux that is not fit for human consumption or has not been inspected for these parasites. In fact, I'm going to come out and say it. Please don't feed your pets pet grade kangaroo. They're decimating these beautiful wild animals, maiming them in the field. It's cruel and senseless in my opinion. Now, I know a lot of our subscribers and viewers are from the States and Canada. Hi guys. And hunting in your countries is a lot more common than it is here in Australia. But your guys too have the same issues with wild kill animals. For those that hunt and butcher their own animals to eat themselves and to feed their animals, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. And this is applicable to most raw meats that have been hunted in the wild and butchered, including deer, wild pigs, kangaroos, whatever, actually including wild-caught fish. So how do we get rid of these parasites? Easy. Freezing these meats for a 14-day period will kill all the parasites, making it safe for you to feed your pet and for you to eat yourself. Well, there you have it. In summary, the fear-driven marketing created to scare us into not feeding a raw diet is driven by the mega pet food companies. It is unsubstantiated and basically just another tool used to make us believe that that's only their products we should be feeding our cats and dogs. Safe food handling practices are something we all understand and we do every single day for our own food. Just do the same for your pets. Oh, and for what it's worth, please stop buying pet grade kangaroo. It's a disgusting, cruel, money-making industry.